Be honest, have you ever imagined committing a crime just to get a break from all of your responsibilities with a peaceful night in jail? All right, that may be a little bit of an extreme example, but if you even jokingly thought about it, you could be dangerously close to burnout. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 mom-specific signs that you're officially overworked. And be sure to stick around to the end because I'm also going to tell you what you need to do to finally reclaim your rest and your sanity. The hard part is that moms often live in a constant state of fatigue and overwhelm. So this video is going to help you know the difference between just being tired and being burnt out, and also help you realize that you are not lazy, but you're in need of a break to regain the motivated and energetic you that's wanting the space to show up. Hey, I'm Dr. Lori Sulpizio. I'm a mindset and leadership coach who helps working moms excel in their life. And for this video, I created a PDF overview with the signs to look out for and the solutions that you can try. You can get that PDF with the link in the description. So let's get to the first warning sign that you're likely burnt out and in desperate need of a break. It's a sad day when a colonoscopy is a way of getting a break, just asking for a friend. Do you often lock yourself in the bathroom for a little extra private time? Find yourself wishing you rolled your ankle just enough to warrant time on the couch, but not enough to need surgery? Or do you find yourself wishing for the pandemic to return so you could go back to sourdough starters and wine? Yeah, if this is you, you're on the verge. If you're wishing you could escape your life, you need a break. This is a sure sign that you're burned out. These escape fantasies are warning signs that the stressors of daily life are getting more than you can manage. And these should not be ignored. These fantasies are telling you that something in your life is out of balance. And the part of you that needs some relaxation and restoration is trying to get your attention. This is a sure sign that your current life and all that you have happening in the day-to-day is depleting and overwhelming to the point that you can't see any rest within that life, which is why you want to escape out of it. The escape fantasy is kind of an obvious and extreme sign of burnout, but this next one is a little more subtle and often gets confused with lack of motivation or willpower. So do you ever, at the end of the day, find yourself in front of an open fridge, staring blankly at shelves full of food, yet not seeing anything you can cook for dinner? Do you scroll through Netflix, looking at thumbnails, but never end up picking something to watch? And how long do you stand in your closet, looking at all of your clothes, telling yourself, I've got nothing to wear? If these moments feel familiar, you're not alone. This is decision fatigue, and it's a huge sign of burnout. My kids and I were just laughing back to a time not too long ago when dinner was either nachos or pancakes. I mean, I'm not kidding. I would put cheese over chips, pop it in the microwave, and that was their dinner. Not my best mom moments for sure, but at the time I was going through my divorce, I was caring for the 4 kids, figuring out finances. It was not an easy phase, and I had no ability to be creative or to make any good mom decisions past 5 p.m. Decision making isn't just about choosing between A or B. It's an energy consuming process that requires your brain to analyze information, weigh options, and predict outcomes. I mean, when you're burnt out, your brain is running on low power mode as it is, and every decision, even small ones, feel overwhelming. I mean, think of your brain like a phone battery. Every choice you make, big or small, drains that battery. By midday, after making hundreds of micro decisions, what to feed the kids? Should I answer this email now or later? When can I squeeze in the dentist appointments? Your battery's depleted. By evening, even the thought of picking dinner feels exhausting. So you default to takeout again, or you find yourself reaching for whatever unhealthy food is the quickest and easiest available. You've got to understand that burnout affects the prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of the brain. This part of your brain is responsible for decision making, impulse control, and problem solving. Chronic stress, aka burnout, floods the brain with cortisol, which actually shrinks the prefrontal cortex over time. There's a reason you can't make good decisions, and it's not that you're a bad decision maker. When you're burnt out, your brain treats even the smallest of choices as threats, triggering the fight or flight response. This means that choosing a cereal brand, picking an outfit, or deciding between 2 emails can feel as mentally draining as a major life decision. Before we go on, I want to tell you that this is not your fault, and you're not doing anything wrong. Often the women I work with blame themselves, thinking they lack some sort of strength or power to push through and make good decisions for themselves. Let's stop this thought in our tracks right now. The systems that we live and work in were not made for working moms. Workplaces are built on an outdated model of family life. Gender stereotypes still place the majority of caregiving and emotional labor on moms, and the supermom myth pressures women to be perfect at everything. The Moms Rising program builds your skills to deal with all of this through teaching you the skills you need, giving you support with coaching, and creating a community around you. So check out that program in the description. I mean, not having the mental capacity to make good decisions and needing external energy sources to get through the day leads me to our next sign. How many cups of coffee do you have before 9 a.m.? Or are you one of those moms who comes to work with a 42-ounce Diet Coke? When 2:30 rolls around, do you grab something sugary for energy? I mean, after all, who has time to sit down and actually eat a healthy meal at lunch? Did you know that those sugar cravings and caffeine fixes aren't random? They're a sign your body is exhausted and looking for a quick fix. Your brain needs energy, reaches for a cookie, you get that brief burst, but then an hour later, you feel even worse. So then you reach for coffee or a piece of chocolate or some chips. Just so you know, the caffeine doesn't create energy. It just blocks your brain from realizing how tired you are. And this is burnout talking, not laziness, not lack of willpower, just exhaustion to an extreme point. And combined with an already depleted sense of decision making, you're gonna find yourself craving sweets and relying on caffeine to function. And then here we are. You're likely experiencing burnout. I mean, if you have 3 of the 5 signs I'm going to give you, you really want to pay attention and make sure you get yourself some help. So as we get to the 4th sign, I want to ask you, do any of these sound familiar? You set the alarm to go to the gym, but you snooze it. You say, hey, we should catch up soon to friends, but you never follow through. You have the time to read, paint, and cook, but instead you just sit and scroll on your phone. Remember those days when you used to love working out, hanging out with friends, reading, gardening? Now even the thought of doing those things feels exhausting. You want to, sort of, but then you don't. And you're not sure why. It's not because you don't care anymore. It's because burnout has drained the part of you that wants to care. So this brings us to the next sneaky sign of burnout, not wanting to do those things that you really love. This happens because when you're burnt out, your brain shifts into survival mode. Instead of focusing on things that brings joy, like hobbies, socializing, your personal goals, it prioritizes the most essential tasks, like working, parenting, or daily responsibilities. Even fun activities feel like one more thing on the to-do list. The fun gets removed because it begins to feel like a have to, even though it's really a want to. But because you're depleted, there's very little space for wants. When you're facing burnout, you are in no space to thrive because you're just trying to survive. And as we've seen, this takes its toll physically. It's so important to understand the link between our physical state and our emotional state and how linked those two really are. I mean, burnout literally rewires your brain, making it harder for you to feel connected, engaged, or excited. But let's say you do give yourself that time to unwind. You make it to happy hour, you turn on that show, but have you ever sat down on the couch with your glass of wine, remote in hand, and you just can't relax? You find yourself reaching for your phone every 5 minutes, or you realize the show's been on for 15 minutes and you haven't even been paying attention. Or how about if you're trying to enjoy a date night, but you can't quiet that nagging voice in your head that's reading the list of all the things that you have to do before the weekends? If you can't relax and disconnect even when you want to, this is a sign your brain is stuck in go mode. This often happens when stress hormones like cortisol are always elevated from overworking and overwhelm. If you've been constantly running on fumes, that hamster wheel going nonstop, your mind might fight against relaxation because it's not used to slowing down. This is really dangerous if your body thinks that rest is a threat. And that's exactly what's happening here. Instead of relaxation feeling natural, it feels uncomfortable. Instead of enjoying rest, your brain keeps searching for the next task. Instead of slowing down, you get anxious, distracted, or numb. This is a critical moment when you need to retrain yourself to believe that not only do you deserve rest, you're going to be more productive and efficient once you are rested. I mean, moms, here's the truth. Burnout isn't just exhaustion, it's a system failure. Your brain and body are stuck in overdrive, running on fumes, and your brain and body no longer trust you to give them the rest they need. That's why even when you get a break, you don't actually feel rested. Burnout doesn't just affect you, it affects your kids, your relationship, and your work. Ignoring burnout leads to long-term health problems. And whether we like it or not, as moms, our well-being sets the tone for our families, so recognizing it early is critical. So, now that you know what to look for, let's get to solutions. What we have to do is reset your system, not by escaping your life or relying on caffeine, but by recalibrating how you move through it. So you're gonna stop waiting for a perfect break. You don't need a vacation to reset. You need micro moments of recovery built into your everyday life. So you're going to build in 3 to 5 minutes of recovery at least twice throughout the day. And this could look like taking a short walk outside, putting headphones on, playing your favorite song while taking some breaths. I'll spend a few minutes throwing the ball outside for my dog. I love the fresh air and I feel happy seeing my dog so happy. Movement and sunshine help us recharge. So get outside and move your body. This does not have to be long. 3 to 5 minutes is all you need to help you both relax and recharge. The next thing you're going to do is schedule fun things so you know there's something to look forward to, and make sure the person you schedule with holds you accountable to making it happen. A lunch, a walk with a friend, a date night. If you're finding you have no passion, start taking the pressure off yourself to have fun and let go of the judgment. Yeah, I see you judging yourself for not being able to find fun or relax, and that self-criticism only makes it worse. Remember, burnout has you in survival mode, so anything that seems extra is going to feel unbearable for your system, and this is real. So pair something you used to love with something you're already doing, so it doesn't feel like another task. You used to love music? Okay, play your favorite song while cooking dinner. You used to love writing? Well, journal just one sentence before bed. You used to love time with friends? Use an app like Marco Polo to send video messages while you're getting ready for work, or FaceTime a friend while you're folding laundry. You used to love to exercise? Stretch, or do 10 squats while watching TV. You do not need another to-do on your list, so change your language. The next thing I want you to do is change from have to want to. Instead of saying, oh, I need to get up and exercise, say, I miss moving my body in a way that feels good. I really want to get outside and take a walk. Instead of saying, I should go out and do something with my friends, say, I deserve connection and fun. Instead of saying, I just have to plan a fun activity. I need to do something. Say, I get to do something for me. This shifts the language from obligation to choice. Okay, next, if you find yourself struggling to make good decisions, especially at the end of the day, I want you to reduce the daily number of choices you make. Remember, the many decisions you are faced with are part of the problem. So use a batch system for small decisions. For your clothes, pick 3 to 5 go-to outfits for the week. Less thinking, same comfort, still looks good. Some weeks I might rotate the same navy and black pants and just pick a different top. For meals, rotate 4 to 6 easy meals for dinner. Think Taco Tuesday, Pasta Thursday, etc. It's fine to repeat and to limit the options to what you and the kids like. No need to try and be a gourmet chef with an expansive menu if that's not something that you want to be and if that's taxing you. For lunch, same, simple, nutritious options every day. The next way to minimize decisions is you're going to make them once a week, not every day. So spend a little extra time on Sunday and plan for the week. What are the meals you're going to do? What days you need to have takeout? What outfits do you want to wear? What are the priorities for the week? Set some default choices. If we're unsure, we're getting Jersey Mike's. If we don't feel like cooking, it's eggs and toast. The kids, they can pick outfits from 2 choices, not a full closet. So then they're coming to you to make that decision for them. And then finally, if you find you're relying on sweets and caffeine just to get through the day, I want you to do this. Have healthy options on hand. Think pre-cut celery or apples, bananas, and nuts. Make sure you have water with you throughout the day. Invest in a cup with the straw so it's easier to take sips. Remember that the sweet cravings and caffeine are your mind's ways of helping you with your burnout. But they aren't actually all that helpful. When you start recovering in the ways that I mentioned above, you're going to find yourself slowly feeling more energetic, and you're not going to need those sweets or the caffeine. You know, what we're doing is teaching your brain that rest is safe while we slowly recharge your battery. When you're always in go mode, slowing down feels uncomfortable. I get it. The goal isn't just to stop, but to retrain yourself to actually enjoy resting again by making it a habit. You don't have to do more to feel better. You have to do things differently. So start small, make it doable, and let's get you feeling like yourself again. Look, it takes one to know one. So I sit here with you, judgment-free, having faced burnout myself. But once you learn to recognize the signs and you start putting the practices in place, you'll find you feel more in control of your life and you'll have better energy. I'm Dr. Lori Sulpizio. I know your time is so precious and limited. I'm so grateful you spent your time with me. Thank you. Check out the links in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.